Good morning, everyone. This is Wayne here from Custom Diecast, Hot Wheels, and Models. And I kind of got a view here of, I'm showing you, this is the cover for my iPhone, for my camera. This is a perfect proof that it's a great idea to invest in covers for your cameras or your phone, because they are very expensive. And this little cover that I got somewhere, Amazon, something like that. I do have a couple extra ones that I have to put back on here, so I have to be extremely careful with my phone until that happens. So take care of your phones, put some covers on them, or you regret a lot. So, all right, that part of it's over with. I have a buddy of mine that shout out to Pace, that he comes over and we do some stuff and work on our Hot Wheels cars and other stuff. But I want to show you this cool little Datsun that he wants me to do a wheel swap on that I did. I got it all prepared ready to do the wheel swap. So I'm just going to show you the wheel swap real quick. And a couple things that, like I said, I'm always pure in truth and honesty here. And when there's mistakes made, I let everybody know about it. It was a very, very thin part where the rivet came out, right here, very thin. So I tried to use the rivet itself, which sometimes just doesn't work. Like here, you have to go down all the way to where the rivet's gone. So, and it's very, very thin right there in that part where the rivet connects to. And I did happen to go through a little bit. It's hard on trucks. I did it once before. I think he's going to be okay with it. So, because we'll touch it up a little bit, and I'll show you that in a second. So we had to take the grinding tool and we had to get in there. I don't like to use a grinding tool that much. I'd rather use a file. But we had to use it on here a little bit. So really cool truck. It has Mazda. It has on the back rotary power, which some Mazdas had, which I don't even remember. They had rotary motors in the trucks. I don't remember that, but I do remember this particular truck. So we'll just get on with what we have to do here. There's the interior. I noticed sometimes on interiors they've been leaving this hole here. I don't know why lately, but I mean it gets covered up when you put them back together. But there's always been that little hole in it. I don't know why. Can't see it to save plastic or anything, but you never know. On so many cars, that little piece of plastic could save a lot. And in these day and age, you need to save as much as you can. So the wheels we put on there were these wheels that I had, which I really like them. I think they're kind of cool, like a little 4-spoke, kind of deep dish, slick type deal. And they really come off looking really, really nice. These are the old ones that were on there. And he wanted me to save them. They're nice in their own right. But there's nothing like a good wheel swap to really kick it up a notch. So we're going to do that. You can see where when I drilled out the rivets, I think you've seen me do that before. Drill them out, and then we used the tap to get in there and put some little threads in there. So we were using these little, I'm using these little 4mm, gotta move it here a second, 440 screws that we use to put it back together. And so let's get this back together. I just want to show you this part of it. Pretty self-explanatory though when you take them apart, and sometimes make a video of everything you do, just so you know where everything goes back together and how well it goes back together. Now this, which is always nice, is when I put the wheels in there, I did have to take a little bit out on each side of the wheel and put it back over these plastic little tips over here. And the wheels spin really, really well. Also, too, you have these little parts of the wheel that go over the axle, so the wheel can't come up on you. So always try to keep those intact as much as you can. So we're just going to put that on there first. Now we're going to put the windshield in. It's kind of a lot of times, mostly on Hot Wheels, they leave the windows out on the doors. On this one, they put them in, which I don't know why they do what they do sometimes, but that's what they do. So I always do like to put it in here kind of just like that, so it's easier to just drop this right on top. All right, hold it together. Take your small little 440 screw. Now these are brass, so it's not really gonna, magnetic screwdriver is not gonna help you here, as you can see. So I've used tweezers, I've used all of it, sometimes just getting it to where it drops in, and I am having a heck of a time today. There we go. Now that dropped in there, let's take our screwdriver, squeeze it together a little bit. Like I said, there's not much threading in there at all. So, matter of fact, we're just gonna tighten it up just a little bit, just so it stays in there. If you want to, sometimes you can put a little teeny little drop of super glue in there because you really don't plan on taking them back apart. But I'm just gonna do this because in case he likes to change the wheels over again, it's gonna be nice and clear. So we're gonna drop this rear one in. Like I said, as we tighten this one down, just had to go down really tight. For some reason, just to push this back up where it had to be. So as we go, move that one in there too. Now, like I said, we came through just a teeny little bit. If you can see that in there. I know it's even kind of hard to see. But sometimes that happens. Now, I want to show you real quick what I did to take care of that was whenever you have to touch something up. Now, the green was a little bit too dark for it. So what I had to do is I had to take a little bit of green and a little bit of white. What you do is you take a straw sometimes and you dip it in your green or your color. And you just kind of dab it in there. That's when you need a little bit more. Or you just take a toothpick and you put your white, get your white on a toothpick and just dab it in there. Like I've done this already and it's still a little bit loose because I want to put a little bit more on there after I put that screw in there. Now the way you put in or fix a little scratch or something, you don't use a brush and brush back and forth like this. Because a brush will make brush marks, right? And they're also, what they are is they're also marks. There's little lines in them, what you could see the little lines in them. See how that works like that? If you take a toothpick, or actually back in the day we used to use a matchstick, which was cardboard. They don't even have, I don't even know if they have match packs anymore or whatever. But I use a toothpick now. Anything kind of hard and flat, just get a little paint on there. And what you want to do is you want to dab it. There's a little bit of my paint here starting to dry. Go here. What you want to do is you want to dab and dab and dab like that until you cover what you want. Now see how the dabbing, if you could see that, it's almost like you just dropped it on her like a little drip, because now there is no, I'm trying to get this the best I can, because now there's no line marks. See how all of a sudden you can see line marks in that? I can kind of get it so you can see it's kind of hard, but anyways, when you brush with a line, you get line marks. When you do a dot, you just get smoothness. Now if I took that with a brush, you get line marks. Now, then what you do is you just take it, I'm going to try to rush here a little bit before it really dries. Just get it in there. You take your little spot that it happened to here, and you just dab it on there. Now that, like I said, that dried a little bit more than what I want. I'll probably mix up some more after. But I just want to give you the idea. You kind of dab it on there. You don't move it or brush it. You just dab it. There we go. That's a good one. So you just dab it the best you can. And then you say, well, what happens, after? Isn't it going to be a little funky when it dries? Or Well, when it takes it, and if I remember, I'll do another little intro on a video of how after that dries, I got a little like 4,000, 3,000 sandpaper that you just go over that a little bit and it just blends it right in. So it looks very good. And the sandpaper will blend that right in. And I gotta tell you, Pace, sorry about going through, but sometimes it just can't help it. Didn't want to, didn't like it, but we fixed it up. And we'll fix it up a little bit more when it's dry. But actually the whole truck came out super, a lot better than I like these other wheels than these other ones. So they may look really good, and it rolls really good. So, well, that's all that part of it. So I just wanted to show you that real quick. Now, I don't want to make the videos too long, but I had before the vehicles that old school Matchbox. I don't know if you remember in previous videos. One was a Lamborghini, which is this one here. And one was that Saab that was old. They were like from the 60s and 70s. And we put some wheels on them, and the interior was just yellow on this one. So I'm going to keep it yellow with a little bit of black that I've got to touch up to offset it. And then we'll spray that with clear. And then with the Lamborghini, we're going to touch up this interior like we did with red and black as we're starting. So I'm going to take it back to the paint booth right now, and I'm going to touch those up with some primer, and then we're going to go with, we're going to go from there. All right, folks. See ya.